All right, so we're at Unit 4, Lesson 1, and we're going to talk about composition. So what is composition? Composition is how you place your design elements on what some people may call the canvas or artboard, whatever medium that you're working on. So say we have all these graphic elements. How are we actually arranging these elements on the canvas? Because it doesn't matter how good these design elements are. If you place them poorly on the canvas, then your design will collapse. It'll fall apart. It'll be a mess, chaotic. The viewer won't understand it, right? So we're trying to go for something that is going to compose the elements on the canvas in a beautiful piece of art, right? So first, let's check out maybe an idea of bad composition. So whenever design elements are arranged together in a quote-unquote bad way, then the design becomes confusing and disorientating to the viewer. So if you look at this, say it's a presentation slide, right, about dogs. It's hard to even understand what in the world is this slide even about. I can't read this. Everything's competing with each other. Stuff is just arranged all over the place, right? It's just chaos. Now let's look at maybe a good example of the exact same information. So everything's nicely organized. Everything's structured. It's all on the same line. I can quickly identify, oh yeah, so this is a slide about the properties of a German Shepherd dog, right? So, it's very highly alert. It's got a strong bite. I can quickly get that information from the way that this presentation slide is composed, right? All right, so concepts of good composition. So what are the things that affect composition? You have shapes and lines. So in this picture here, the still art picture, we see that the pears are arranged in almost like a triangular shape. Now the triangle, that's something that we're going to explore a little later on, but it's a very good way to create good composition in your artwork. The next concept is hierarchy. So it's just making sure that your design has a clear first, second, and third importance to anything that you do. You should be able to look at a design and in the first half of a second know what is the most important thing on that design. So hierarchy, very critical thing that we'll study later. Repetition's a great way to create a composition. So if an item is repeated over and over again, or it's in the same location, or it's the same look, then that's a good way to create good hierarchy and composition. So the viewer, once they see that repeated element over and over, they'll be able to orient themselves in the design. Also have good contrast. So in this particular example, we have no contrast. The blue and blue box are the same size and color. Now this is big contrast, right? We got a red box and a blue box, and they're both different sizes. So try to create contrast in your design so that you have that good composition. And lastly is the rule of thirds, which we will talk about more in this unit in I think the last lesson. So it's just an idea of how to arrange elements on your artboard so that they feel really good to the viewer, right? They're in the right spots. It's a weird thing with science and art coming together that if you place things in these regions, the viewer will like them more. All right, so that is this lesson. Go ahead and go to lesson 2 of Unit 4, and we'll talk about that one.